Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
You know, this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a worm, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you.
Negroes, do your duty. Nobody coming to see you. I'm the group. I'm the best thing that ever happened to this damn group.
Might have seen you a little early, but you weren't.
But you will not kill the freedom of black folks. It's coming. We're going to get it. We fought every one of your damn lousy wars, lady, and you give us nothing. Now the war is going to be here, but we're going to be free. Now you kill you want to, but we kill too.
Did you say nigga?
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Yeah, it's him. One more? Okay, maybe that was it. I might have been late. So I know there's two drops right after the elder speaks there. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. For anybody that's going to catch this out on the Villager on Deck channel, I appreciate you. For anybody that's going to check this out on Facebook, I appreciate you as well. The Villager on Deck YouTube channel is up. Still haven't built it out the way I need to, but I'm doing some branding with someone this week, and I'm going to have them help me with. I need that young energy. There ain't no way that I can do this and build the content the same way. So I'm going to have to start delegating some jobs. I realize that. As the villager on deck, you've got to kind of stand back and say, okay, do you want to be the villager on deck, or do you want to be the graphic design artist? You want to be this, you want to be that? No. I need to bring the content. It's even kind of where I've come to this whole activism thing, or what people would call activism. So we're gonna talk on a few levels today. Good afternoon, Free. How you doing today? Mid-Monday day. There's just so many different angles that I'm gonna come from with this. So y'all know the boomerang game. If you've actually listened to me before, you know where I come from with my message and how the message is delivered. It's not always what everybody wants to hear. I get it. I totally understand that. But it's never been tested. It's never been tried. And that's just because it's true. You know, people don't like me because I'm me. You know, it's not because, you know, I'm a certain individual that they just wish would go away because I say so many false things. People don't like me because I say so many true things. And if I said false things, they wouldn't have to ask me to go away. They would just get me flagged, have cease and desist put in order, and then I wouldn't be around anymore. So it's pretty simple. Before I really get jumping off, let me get that bed up under me that I had up under me last week. I like that bed. I think it cancels out a lot of the distortion that I catch. So let me get that bed back up, make sure that that's popping underneath my voice. Where I'm at right now, I just need to make sure that I'm in a good space all the way around. And when I hear little things in the background, they kind of throw me off, but I want to stay in pocket today. My brother Joe up in this bitch. Well, I'm sorry, John Henry up in this bitch. Yes, always Free, always. So everybody knows me, and they know that my content is not for the weak-hearted. It's not for the weak-hearted. And some things bother people because I say them about people that they may be an acquaintance with, or they might even be friends with. I don't give a shit. And what I've learned through that is sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And I've taken enough L's in this lifetime to where I couldn't give less than a damn about if I lose somebody because I told the truth. And that's happened over the last several years. Just by telling the truth, you lose individuals. But see, if I had told a lie, I would have lost other individuals. So what do I really want to live with? And as a father and as a grandfather, you know, as the man of a house. See, a lot of people don't really understand what it's like being the man of a house and being a liar. You can be a liar to the outside, but when you come back inside, how you gonna tell the truth? How you gonna be truthful to your family if you lying to the public? Or if you lying to your family, how can you be truthful to the public? See, that's what a lot of people don't realize. You can't have both. You can't have both. You know, I've said it most recently that I could have went on and lived a great life as an African-American man. I could have been an African-American man. I could have been in corporate America. I could have been about that business. And my family would have thanked me because I would have had much more fruit to bear. But because I couldn't be that kind of nigga, and I chose to be me, and I chose freedom over fraudulence, I'm here. And I've had more opportunities than most, but a lot of the opportunities that I've had, I hadn't come to the realization that I've come to today. And that's where I've got to start to delegate authority. I had a previous appointment set up with a brother to go do some branding work, and he literally just messaged, because I messaged him on his post, and he messaged back and said, hey, our power's out. No problem. Do you think I'm gonna go call another designer? Absolutely not. I'm not gonna call another designer. I'm gonna wait for his power to come back on, and I'm gonna go meet with that brother. Because I think he has what it takes to take me to the next level, not on this sphere, but other things that we're doing out here in the field. And I'm going to lay them all out there and let him run with his artistic talents. So that's beautiful. Stream less choppy on YouTube. See, I need that type of insight. Facebook been doing something to my platform. I don't know what it is. I can't get a good live stream up, whether I'm in the car or whether I'm actually, in the studio. Facebook doing something. So it is what it is on Facebook. That's why I'm really trying to drive traffic to the YouTube platform. So get on the Villager on Deck link, and let me go ahead and make sure I've got that link in the chat. Let me get that link in the chat. If I can do that, that'll be the easiest way that if anybody comes in, they can see that. They can see that. Because, yeah, we don't have a lot of subscribers over on Villager on Deck. And I know it's easier to see me on Facebook. It's easier to do. It's most easiest just to catch it when you catch it. I get that. But the thing is, right now, what I'm trying to do, build. No, I won't. I don't want that. Hold on one quick second. Oh, there it is. What I'm trying to do is build this into where we're going next. Freedman Media did what it was supposed to do for the time that it did it in. But where we are now, we've got to make some moves in a different sphere. So I appreciate that, John Henry, letting me know that Facebook stream is choppy, but the YouTube stream is easier to bear. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. And now you can see the YouTube link and just click that link. Just click that link and you should be able to get right into the chat. But good guys and bad guys, it's about so many different things. And sometimes it's not guys. It's not even girls. Sometimes it's systems. Sometimes the good guy system and the bad guy system, it has nothing to do with actual human beings. It's what's been put in place systemically. And when we talk about things, it's unfortunate that I've got to go back in time, so far back in time, to find people like Ida B. Wells and Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass and Rosa Parks and Sojourner Truth and Martin. Oh, we're going to talk about Martin today. I got something to talk about Martin today. They done disrespected this brother once again. They done disrespected Martin Luther King once again. This time it's right here in the Village. It's right here in the Village, in the city of Detroit. They have disrespected our brother Martin once again. And I know some of the people that watch videos online, they like to talk about Martin Lawrence, but they don't like to talk about Martin Luther. We're going to talk about Martin Luther. I'm going to let them other people talk about Martin Lawrence. We don't have to talk about Martin Lawrence. Talented brother, love him for his gifts that he's given us. But Martin Luther is who I'm talking about today, not Martin Lawrence. So if you think you're going to hear Martin Lawrence's stuff, you might have to go on somebody else's stream, okay? But if you want to hear about Martin Luther and the real, stay over here on this struggle stream with good verbiage, and we'll go from there. So what we've got in play today is to talk about the good guys and the bad guys. And the good guys, I tell you, they're people that ride for us. Y'all know I identify as an American freedman. Okay. I know people identify as African Americans. Then there's people that identify as Black Americans. Then there's people that identify as indigenous people. And then, there's people that identify as ADOS, and then there's people that identify as FBA. Okay. If you are all of those things at the end of the world, if they said, what are you? And you say all those names other than an American freedman, you done. They say, what are you? And you survive. If you say all those names, you're done because you're not any of those. You are an American freedman. If you are indeed that, you can say you're a Black person. A lot of people say they Black. I've seen people that were not Black say they Black. I mean, that's just where we are. I've seen people who are not Black say they Black. That's just what it is.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
I don't know how Kamala just popped out like that, but, Kamala's, at one time said she was Black, and she got off into Black culture went to an HBCU, moved to a black ass town, bumped up with a whole bunch of black dudes. Then when it was time to get real in the field, she found Doug, and look at her now. She's the first black woman VP who's also one of the most influential Asians ever. You make it make sense. She's Brahmin Indian, she's Jamaican, but she's never, ever done anything for us. And reason why?
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Okay, that's why. That's why, because she doesn't identify with us. She doesn't identify with the struggle. She doesn't identify with anything. I don't care how many Black Panther marches you think she went to. She did not. She was lying. All those stories that they've talked about Kamala being in the Black Panther Party and her parents went to black, lies, flat out lies. And every time we see her, we should just tell her, you're a racist. But nobody's going to tell her that because she looks like us. Nobody's ever going to say that to Kamala because she looks like us. And sometimes she even talks like us. When she goes down south, she gets that little southern drawl. When she gets around a whole lot of sister girls, she wants to do the ski-wee and all that stuff. But what it is, in reality, for us, we should know she is a flat-out traitor. She thought she could actually do that imitation shit all the way to the White House, and damn near did. Damn near did, because if Joe had died during this time, she'd become president. She didn't do it on her own campaign. She ran out of money and her people hated her and she lost all her employees and all that. But Joe pulled her off the couch. He said, take that house coat off, take those rollers out your hair, drop that bottle of Cabernet and get on the campaign trail with me and let's go win this thing. Because she wasn't doing anything else. Nobody was checking for Kamala before Joe was checking for Kamala. She was done. Politically, she was done. But she was the right nigga. And you got to understand, I call white folks niggas, I call Brahmin Indians niggas. She was the right nigga to put in play. Joe could have went for Stacey. He absolutely could have went for Stacey. He could have went for Nina. He absolutely could have went for Nina. They might have made great running mates. But would they have got him that vote that he needed to get over the hump? I don't think so. Stacey, maybe. Nina, no. And I'm still conflicted with Nina anyway, because she talks right, but she's a Bernie person. And Bernie's against reparations, and she's pro-reparations, so I really don't know how that mixes. I can't be in a conversation with somebody who's anti-reparations, and I'm pro-reparations, but we on the same team. No, we got to get here first, bro. Sis, whatever. We got to get here first. So this good guy thing is very, very serious to me. Who's rode with us? What's even more serious to me is the bad guy thing. Because we got a lot of bad guys that are impersonating good guys. We got a lot of bad guys who are impersonating good guys. And that's more dangerous than just bad guys being bad guys. See, when a bad guy is a bad guy, then you know what he is. You see him coming straight on. But when it's a bad guy impersonating a good guy, oh, he gonna fool a few folks. He's absolutely gonna fool a few folks. Did my bed drop out? I think my bed dropped out. Let's get that back in there. Okay. So when a bad guy is a bad guy, we can see him. But when it's a bad guy who is impersonating a good guy, he's probably a grifter. Yeah, there's a lot of grifters out here. Lots of grifters. Some are named Griff. Then there's gatekeepers. Then there's turncoats, predators, cosplayers, all that shit. But they're bad guys. But they don't want to be looked at as bad guys. They want to be looked at as good guys. So they start saying good shit. And a lot of them say good shit to certain people. And then certain people be like, the fuck are you talking about? Because they know who they are. They know they a bad guy, but now he's impersonating a good guy. And then there's other people that are truly ignorant to the situation. And they'll look at a bad guy and listening to a bad guy and be like, ooh, he's a good guy. You got to understand, this whole concept of this stream did not come from the 6 individuals on the left or these 2 cinematic individuals on the right. You know, that's Samuel L. Jackson and Leonardo DiCaprio in Django. But you could look at this picture and it could be anything. I could say it's Jim Clyburn and Joe Biden. I could say that. I could say that it's a black Democrat and a white Democrat. I could say that. But really it's just an image to show who's a bad guy. Because although Samuel L. Jackson thought he was doing good, he was really a bad guy because he had betrayed his people. He had turned on his people. And Calvin Candy, portrayed, by Leonardo DiCaprio, he was supposed to be this mild-mannered, smooth-talking enslaver. But in fact, he was no different than the ones who would beat you just for breathing. This is what we have in our midst now. And when you start to churn politics into it, it gets real messy. So this is where I've come to the conclusion of activism. I don't believe it's not for me. I just know for sure, 100%, I can't flow with some of the things that happen around, whether it be in the immediate village or abroad. And will I still be a voice in political circles? Absolutely. That's what the Villager on Deck is. But speaking the way I've spoken before, I've got to be really careful who I actually put into that stuff. That's why in this whole situation, like a lot of people, they still run at me about supreme felons. And I've told them many a times, supreme felons don't mean shit to me. They aren't even flies on my radar. They're not flies on my wall. Because if they were, then I would do what we do to flies. Who they're connected with, the corruption and the debauchery, who they're connected with is what I am here for. And because they are directly connected with law enforcement, who's corrupt, then you follow that trail. A lot of people are really upset about them getting a bunch of money. I can't be upset about them getting a bunch of money. Why would I be upset about them getting a bunch of money? I didn't apply for none of them grants. So I'm not going to be upset about them getting money. I can care less about them getting money. I couldn't care less about them getting this gig and that gig with the county. Because it all boils down to, how did they get it? They got it because of being juiced in with a corrupt system called WCSO, the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office, for those who don't know. So I get how they got it. It's not about how they get it, because people, how they get that money. I can tell you how they got it. Is that what you really want to know? But my thing isn't how they got it, what they gonna do with it. What they gonna do with it? If somebody gave you 1.2 million to help the neighborhood out, to help the hood, to take care of 48197, to take care of 48198, if somebody gave you that kind of money, you damn well better make a difference. And I don't know how long it spreads out for them to get the money. If it's 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, it doesn't make any difference to me. If somebody drops 1.2 million tax-free dollars in your hand, you better make a difference. That's all I'm saying. And then you hold who gave that money to you accountable. Because I already anticipate the obvious of what's going to happen with the $1.2 million. But what I'm looking at is the people who gave it up, the people who signed off on it, the people who approved it. Because the people who received it, they're going to do what anybody would do who's never had that type of money put in front of them. Because if you've never seen $1 million, if you've never sat there in front of it and had your hands on it and touched it and counted, you can't really fathom what getting $1 million is like. And I know most of those people who are dealing with that have not. They might have seen some money. They absolutely might have seen some money. You got some drug dealers, you got some robbers, you know, you got some pedos, you got some child sexual predators, whatnot, you know. So they've been around some money. They've probably seen some money, but $1 million? Nah. Not $1 million, not $1.2 million, none of that. But at this age that I've achieved, I've literally been a part of situations like that on some real shit. I've been told to look at it. I've been told to count it. So I wouldn't be so excited that when it was just put in front of me, I'd do some goofy shit with it. Because that's all that's going to get done is some goofy shit. I'm looking for transformative energy. I'm not looking for somebody to put on a back to school fair, to throw a picnic, paint lines on the sidewalk, on the basketball courts, on the softball fields. No, I need to see substance. Or it don't really matter. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. So, good guys and bad guys. The one thing that I noticed about this image, this collage that I had seen, all the pictures, they're ancient now. They are truly ancient photos. With Martin and Rosa and Frederick across the top, Ida B. Wells, Booker T, and Sojourner Truth on the bottom. They're ancient. Why don't we have new images to put into these spaces to replace these individuals? Because we don't want to replace their legacy. We don't want to replace their history. We don't want to replace anything that they've done for us, or at least tried to do for us. But why do we not have new pictures? Because if I said this just to a person right off the street, look at these 6 pictures. Most people are only going to be able to identify 2 to 3 individuals on that collage. Most people, they're only going to be able to identify 2 to 3 people. But then if I said, if you had to take one off and put somebody from our current generation, who would you replace and who would you put in there? And most people are going to say pretty much the same thing. They would take off one of the pictures who they have no identity with, probably one of the bottom 3, Ida B, Booker T, Sister Truth. And it's unfortunate that they might not know their histories, their legacies, and what they did for us. And then they would replace one of those 3 soldiers that they couldn't identify and didn't know anything about. They would replace them with Barack Obama. I'm 90% sure of it. I'm damn near 100% sure of it. Because that would be a figure that they would think that would be on the level of one of those 3 individuals, or maybe even greater. See, a lot of people are going to give Barack Obama the nod to be on this collage as a good guy because he was a black man and he became president. They'll negate everything that he did against black Americans. But because he was a president as a black man, they would think that he's worthy to be in the company of these other individuals on that collage. But I would easily place Barack Obama on the right side as a bad guy. I didn't say he was a bad father. I didn't say he was a bad husband. I didn't even say he was a bad man. But his politics, they're bad. And they're still going on. He's not done. Just because he's not in the White House anymore, he's still in the White Houses. Because most white people that like Barack Obama love Barack Obama. Most white people who voted for Barack Obama love Barack Obama. They think Barack Obama is the greatest thing since government cheese for grilled cheese sandwiches. Because that's truly the best cheese for grilled cheese sandwiches, government cheese. I know some of y'all cheat and y'all use Velveeta, but that's not good. I'm not even sure the Velveeta is real cheese, but it is what it is. Kai Stone in the building. You came in right on time. I wouldn't replace any solid American freedman with Barack Obama. For one, if I'm trading out freedman for freedman. I'm not trading out a freedman for an African American. But I couldn't trade one of these brothers or sisters out. One of these brothers or sisters for Barack? It couldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. So that's just where it is. That's just what I'm doing. Make you throw up in your mouth a little bit, Free. I know that that's what people think of him, though. People think that he was the creme de la creme as the black president because they have no idea what he did to destroy us during those 8 years. They were just happy that it had happened, that the box had been checked off, that our bucket list item had been fulfilled. We got us a black president in our lifetime. But what good did it do us? He got in there and had the House and the Senate and wouldn't even look towards reparations. Said it wasn't even a conversation starter in the halls of justice. He looked away, as a matter of fact. He turned away. He said that's not how America works. And then he got to commence to working for everybody else but black Americans until it was time to campaign that second time. And then he starts singing Al Green flat up in y'all's churches again. I'm so in love with you. Nigga, what you gonna do? So I'm here. I'm where I'm at with this. If we gonna take somebody off, we better put somebody that's solid on. But I gotta go freedman for freedman. I'm not going with people that are from another territory. And I know that we've had a few folks that have come over and done some solid work over here. But if I'm gonna trade one of these solid individuals out, one of these solid individuals, I got to trade him out for a freedman. I surely do. So since we kind of here already, appreciate you, Kai Stone. Since we kind of here already and we got Martin's picture up on the screen, let's go here. Let's go to the what the fuck moment of the live stream. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. While I find a lighter, because I need a smoke on this one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to know. What was that face you used? I'm going to put that back up there because that's what this is. That's what made me do. I almost threw up when I saw this. When I saw this toothless individual that they brought out here as Martin Luther King, they trying to say this is Martin Luther King. This is supposed to be Martin Luther King in the city of Detroit. Martin loved Detroit too. He loved Detroit folks. Used to come here and kick it with C.L. Franklin and all the elders. The ancestral elders at this point. They said this was Dr. Martin Luther King. Now, I've had my fill of people making these statues and busts and different things of Martin Luther King, because half of them don't resemble Dr. Martin Luther King. That's exactly who it looks like. Miguel Luther Consuela. And he needs to get him some veneers. How come they didn't put his veneers in? I want to know why they didn't put his veneers in. The artist forgot Martin's veneers? And when I looked and saw this picture, I was like, okay, so let me dig up. Let me find out exactly what's going on here. I should have known. I should have known that I was going to get this. Yeah. I was going to get this. That cheese-eating nigga, Wendell Anthony, president of the Colored People's Organization in the city of Detroit. Then you got portly Mike Duggan. City Council President Mary Sheffield. She's already going wrong with the reparations discussion, so I ain't got nothing really positive to say about her either. And then the Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson. Now, I understand these were the two black folks that was ahead of this, Wendell, Mary. But the black person that really cooked my grits in this whole photograph, look between Miguel Consuela and Mary Sheffield, who's poking his fat head out. Michael Eric Dyson. Nah, Detroit really ain't good with this. These cheese-eating niggas is good with it. And that one that's got his head poking between Mary Sheffield and Miguel Luther Consuela with no veneers. Michael Eric Dyson. All up in the videos, singing, dancing. Come to death row. I'm telling you, I really don't get how folks can be like this. But I do. Oh yeah, that's him. You know it's him. You know it's him. Yeah. And when I talk about grifters, oh boy. I mean, he is an educated individual. I get it. He is an educated individual. I can't question his intellect at all. One of the smartest breathing still. I would say that Michael Eric Dyson is one of the smartest breathing still. But that don't stop him from being a turncoat. That don't stop him from being a gatekeeper. That don't stop him from being a grifter. There it is. The go along to get along niggas. See, I love it. I love it when y'all right there with me. Run this 5K with me today. Coco in the house. Run this 5K with me today. Let's lake them up. Let's lace them up. Cause I'm done with all the BS. I'm done with all the stuff that I've been hearing out here in these streets. I looked at this photograph after looking at this photograph, and I said, okay, I see they done did it again. They done misrepresented Dr. King. They done misrepresented him. And then I see who misrepresented him. I see who misrepresented him. What you say there, Coco? There's a difference between a coon and a Negro. The Negro can be taught. The coon is dangerous. Whoop. Coco done came in here cooking. Coco done came in here cooking. She got her green tea. She got her green tea. She got her libations. Yeah. The Negro is taught, but the coon is dangerous. They dangerous. They dangerous to the point that they'll do this. That's the person who created the statue. That's the individual who created the statue.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people. No.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah. I didn't even understand. Once again, in a black ass city, I know there's a lot of hipsters, a lot of families with European descent that have moved into the city of Detroit, but Detroit is forever going to be a black city. And when I said, y'all going to put a black statue in the middle of a black city, and that's who you got to be the artist, okay.
Oh, we got a problem here?
Yeah.
We got a problem here? We got a problem, nigga?
Yeah, we got a problem. That's what I said, Free. When I found out that this was the artist, not formerly known as Prince, I was hot. I was hot. I was hot. I'm like, come on now. He looks like he needs to be making statues for Robert E. Lee, but not MLK. I know there's no shortage of black artists in this country, let alone Detroit. Detroit is one of the most artistic cities in this country. If I'm lying, I'm flying, and y'all know I'm too fat to fly. Detroit has some of the most talented individuals in this country. Artists? Come on now. I see the numbers are kicking up a little bit. I don't know where they're coming from, but y'all need to be on the Villager on Deck channel and jump into the chat. If you just came over here to lurk and to see if I'm gonna say somebody's name, I've already said Griffs, I already said Supreme Felons. I'm just talking today. So if y'all want to come and sit and lurk and take shit back to them niggas, I don't give a fuck. I'm not scared, motherfucker. Okay, please understands me. All those artists, it's ridiculous. We've got people right here in the city, but they went and got, what's his name? Stan Watts. They went and got Stan Watts. That's what they went and got. Yeah. They went and got Stan Watts. I bet you Stan ain't never been to Watts. I bet you Stan ain't never been to Watts. That's what they got to make this sculpture. And then he forgot to put Martin's teeth in. Why Martin's teeth still in a jar, Stan? Where Martin's teeth at, Stan? Y'all don't seem to understand me.
Fuck all y'all.
That's the wrong statue. That is Martin Luther. No, that's Martin Luther King. So that's not who we thought it was. They were like, Stan, we need you to do Martin Luther King. Oh, Martin Luther? I'll do Martin Luther. I can do Martin Luther, yeah. He got some of the same stats as a Martin. Priest, theologian, author. I don't know if Martin ever wrote songs. I know he made some albums. Professor, Augustinian friar. I don't know if MLK was an Augustinian friar, but I know he was a chicken friar. Shit. I mean, this is insulting. At this point, it's just flat out insulting. What do you do when somebody makes something like this? And that shit is already up. They done had the whole thing. We just saw the cheese eating motherfuckers. What they at? They already done had the ceremony. It's up. You can go right downtown Detroit and see this. Go down there and see Miguel Consuela, Martin Luther, 14th century theologian, whatever. This is not Martin Luther King. It's not Martin Luther King. It looks like Hart Plaza. Oh, yeah, Hart Plaza. Because I was looking at the buildings. I know I've looked at that view from Hart Plaza before. So, yeah, they in Hart Plaza. It's at Hart Plaza. I don't know. I don't even know why they would do this. So basically downtown, we got the Joe Louis fist, and now we got this. Now we got this. They need to roll that motherfucker off into the ocean. Looking like Ross Perot. Off into the river. I say ocean, off into the river. Dude, it's insulting, man. And to really keep from getting that pissed off, I've got to laugh at it. But this shit right here ain't funny. Because I'm sorry. Who held the meetings to secure the artist? I want to know who hired him. I want to know who hired him. You know what? We always go looking for that, Free. I want to know what he was paid for this. I really want to know what he was paid for this debaucherous act. And I don't want to hear about, oh, this was his interpretation. One thing that we don't need in 2023 is motherfuckers interpreting Martin Luther King. We already know how to interpret Martin Luther King. Flat out. Flat out. There's so many beautiful statues around the country. Why couldn't they go get the most well-liked statue, find that artist, and just have them do it? Why did we need to go get a new artist who had not done a MLK statue before? Do this. I just ask what makes sense. I don't try to ask things out of pocket. I try to ask what makes sense. There's countless statues of Martin Luther King and busts and whatnot of Martin Luther King around the country. And this is just me being real. It's just me being, well, shit, I'm always real. Shit, I'm always real. I don't need no real. Can I get a witness?
I get a witness.
I'm real. But why didn't they just go get one of the artists who had did a statue and or bust of Martin Luther King? Not that motherfucker in, was it Boston? Not that one that did the all them arms and shit. We don't need that person. And I think that was a brother. That was a brother that did that statue. He can't get hired no more. We leave all the shoulder statues to him. But I'm talking about somebody that's done a proven statue. A proven statue. See, what y'all need to know is John Henry is a contrarian, much like myself. He hasn't reached the levels that I have reached, but he doesn't have the calendars in the game. So by the time he's where I'm at on the calendar, he may reach the level of pettiness that I have met. And yes, he is a true contrarian. So we say, get out these good folks' business. He like this.
Kid, get the fuck out of here.
I had to pull an old one out. I had to dust off an oldie right there. I used to use that one a lot back in the day.
Kid, get the fuck out of here.
So what I'm looking at now is just, we got these individuals. Wendell Anthony's, he's needed to retire for years. He is nowhere near what Black Americans need in the city of Detroit as a leader anymore. Let him go on and preach at his church. I know he got property all over the city. Let him go handle his businesses. Let him go handle his business. You know who you is, bro. You know who you is, John Henry. But as far as being the leader of the NAACP in the city of Detroit, he is cancerous. He is cancerous. And to be complicit with this act as a black man, he's deadly. I expect no more from Mike Duggan. Sister Mary Sheffield, I just don't know enough about her, but I believe that is Horace Sheffield's daughter, if I'm not mistaken, another preaching ass nigga. I believe that is Horace Sheffield's daughter. I do believe so. He owns a bunch of property around Detroit too. And he would be considered a leader around the city. I don't know if he's as detrimental as Wendell, but Sister Mary, this wasn't it. You've seen countless pictures of Martin Luther King. Sister Mary, you know this wasn't it. As far as Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, I expect nothing different. If y'all do notice, because I want to make note, I do not hold this as the responsibility of Mike Duggan and Jocelyn Benson. Why? Because they're Caucasus. They are Caucasus. They are from the land of all you niggas look alike. And I'm not saying that they have ever specifically said that themselves, collectively or individually, but they are from the land of the people who say all you niggas look alike. So when they saw this, they saw Martin Luther King. When black folks see this, we see Miguel Luther Consuela. Arriba, arriba, andale. We see a toothless male badly in need of his veneers. We see Michael Eric Dyson trying to peek out so we can get in the photo. He wants people to know he was there. I was there when they betrayed you, Martin. So when you get up to heaven, you tell Martin that you was right there by his left shoulder, Michael Eric. Michael Eric. You tell Martin Luther you endorse this mess, Michael Eric. So I just don't have anything to say positive about this. Point blank, period. That's all he's ever been. That's all he's ever going to be, is an opportunist. An opportunist, a political lyricist. He loves rhyming. He loves rhyming and rapping and stuff, his message. I get it. I totally get it. But that don't impress us, bro. Just because you've memorized a bunch of Jay-Z lyrics, that doesn't impress us. My man, Emmanuel. It's 1:56, y'all. That's what that chime was. Let me send real quick. One quick second. Appreciate y'all checking out the live here. For those who are going to wait to check out the replay, just to make sure that I can't see him creeping into the room, especially on Facebook, you can actually see people when they're creeping in the room. Y'all here, y'all welcome. I'm never going to say that people can't watch the videos. I just know that there's certain people who shouldn't watch the videos. Yes, it is still morning time from Mesa. 60-year anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech. 60-year anniversary. So keep in mind, what they've done out here is blasphemous, because they know a whole bunch of people, when Martin died, wasn't rocking with Martin Luther King. And a lot of the people that say they rocking with Martin Luther King now that is still living, they probably wasn't rocking with Martin Luther King. Martin had lost a bunch of people. His approval rating was down in the dirt with black people when he died, because he started talking equity and not talking equality. And there was a bunch of people. I look at Wendell Anthony. He would have probably been one of them people. Like I said, I don't know enough about Mary Sheffield to know if she would have possibly turned on Brother Martin. But Wendell Anthony, oh, he definitely would have bootlicked. He definitely would have bootlicked. Old preaching ass nigga. He would have wanted to protect his equality, because he's definitely not a ride or die for American freedmen in the city of Detroit or anywhere else. When I saw that he was going to keep collecting them checks from Kid Rock and cashing them, I'm like, Wendell Anthony ain't shit. Kid Rock will cut a check to the NAACP and then get out and right in the middle of the street and start saying nigga, 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 nigga. So yeah, the 60-year anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech. And you know, he basically said that speech in Detroit before he said it in DC. They did all that marching. Detroit was really a proving ground. It was a proving ground for Martin to come from the South to the North and have the impact that he had in the North that he was having in the South. Just let you know, black folks was catching hell everywhere. Black folks was catching hell everywhere. It didn't matter if it was in Mississippi, it was in the mitten too. That's why I don't like half-ass niggas. That's why I don't like shoe-shuffling ass niggas. We've got one shot at this thing. See, Martin realized the error of his ways before he died and said, I think I've walked my people into a burning house. But you niggas are still out here walking us into flames. Really? Really, that's what y'all doing? You got us walking into infernos. There was black folks that really could have put us up on Barack Obama before Barack Obama became Barack Obama, but they didn't. Barack Obama didn't have any legislative history helping out black folks. That's all we needed to know. Or his ass would have never got out of Chicago. If we knew what we know now, Barack Obama would probably still be a senator in Chicago. But no, we saw the black face. Totally. They were like, uh-oh, he speaks so well. He's so articulate. He's light-skinned. He's got a black wife. Let's take him. Let's get him. Political juggernaut. Why the hell nobody ever pressed Jim Clyburn to run for president? You ain't got to be a political juggernaut. You just got to be willing to say the right shit to the right people at the right time. And they'll get you in there. They'll get you in there. What's that guy, Stone? Like, my family's still having hope on Sheila Jackson Lee and Sylvester Turner. Oh my goodness. I feel sorry for them. Sheila Jackson Lee, she stepped away from the reparations movement. She trying to become the mayor. She want to be the mayor. And Sylvester Turner, oh no. Those are not our leaders in the South. Those are not leaders in the South, North, East, or West. She got him an election. If he had a white girl on his arm, he wouldn't have got elected. I'm telling you. And y'all know how I am with the black girl magic thing. I mean, I'm gonna salute our queens when it's necessary. That right there was the greatest feat in history. A black woman got a man elected. Because that's what happened. Shelley got that man elected. Barack Obama would not have gotten in as a single black man, and he definitely wouldn't have got in if he had a Caucasian woman. Or really any other ethnicity. I'll go that far. You don't think he was gonna walk up in there with a Japanese woman, right? He wouldn't have walked up in there with a Latina on his arm. He was only gonna walk up in there with a black woman. And the black woman that he had was solid. Shelley was solid at one time. I really don't fuck with her now, but Shelley was solid at one time. It's tough. Cognitive dissonance is really, really, really a thing. It's really, really, really a thing. You know your big brother gonna speak the truth, Coco. Your big brother gonna speak the truth. I already understand the dynamic and the power that black women have in politics. When you get a real strong black woman that does run in politics, she generally wins. She generally wins. If she's really solid, she wins. Now, if they convert her, they convert her. But I'm saying just running, if a black woman runs in politics and she is solid with her shit, she wins. Very few of them lose. There's just not enough of them running. Yeah, Sheila Jackson Lee from Houston. Kamala ain't black. Kamala's Brahmin, Indian, Jamaican. She's the most influential Asian in the world. She only became black to win the presidency, and then she didn't win it, and then she got selected as the vice president. She only was there for the elections. Kamala's only black for the elections. The other parts of the world, other parts of the calendar, she's whatever she is. Michelle, Jay-Z, Oprah, Beyonce, et cetera, definitely got over. Yeah. Yeah. It's so unfortunate that we are swayed by celebrity. Swayed by celebrity. A lot of people like that part of it. I don't. When I see the celebrities coming in, I just get to turn the channel now. I don't even let them talk. I done seen Jay-Z on Van Jones and Oprah and Beyonce and all that. I done seen them all talk. Beyonce did her whole Black Panther thing. Not Black Panther thing. Yeah, it was Black Panther thing. Everybody thought she was gonna be all militant. Beyonce's gonna go get them dollars. She is not gonna make a whole bunch of Black Power music. Y'all are not gonna hear a Formation album. What has she done for Black people?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people. No.
She's done nothing. She already said she wasn't gonna do anything. And she has stayed true on her promise. Yeah, we do. We put too much weight behind somebody who was literally sent here to entertain us. These people were sent here to entertain us. They were sent here to make us feel good, to make us move, to make us dance, to make us sing their lyrics. And we put them on a pedestal to guide us politically. How can that happen? How can somebody who was sent to you to entertain you? We have a vein in us that needs to be stimulated, and that vein is through entertainment. And whatever entertains us is what entertains us. Some people, I saw a picture you had on Facebook today, Coco, stack of books. You find books entertaining, engaging. Some people don't like to read. Boy, them are some dangerous motherfuckers too. I tell you, a person that don't like to read, you need to take 3 steps back real slow. Real slow. Take 3 steps back from a person that don't like to read and run. Run, Forrest, run. Yeah. No positive role models in the household. So here's the thing. A lot of parents now push their kids to like entertainers from an influential standpoint. I've been talking about it a lot lately because there's always this spin that people put on things that what's going on in the world. I always love the comment that Charles Barkley made back in the day when he said, I am not a role model. Do not tell your kids to be like me. I was not sent here to be a role model. I was sent here to play basketball. And a lot of people still didn't get that. They didn't get that. Who would be a good representative? Is there anyone, or will the government be like Hollywood and hire someone from England like they did in Snowfall? Oh boy, here you go dropping knowledge today. I really tried to get past the brother being, an Englishman. I tried to get past it because I thought he played the role of Franklin Saint. I thought he played that role really, really, really well. So I tried to get past that. John Singleton did select him. So I kind of put that on John Singleton to not have found somebody from here to play Franklin, but he was handpicked by John Singleton, so I kind of let it go early on. But yes, it did hurt me. You got to understand, two of the biggest stars in American TV gangster culture are Englishmen. Stringer Bell. And what's this youngin's name? His name is Idris too, ain't it? Ain't his name Idris? I forgot he got another name, but his name is Idris too. All talented black folks over in Britain name Idris? What's that about? What you said there? Our brother Malcolm told us about them entertainers. I never trust people who quote him but do opposite. Absolutely. I just don't see the value anyway in putting political clout in someone whose bag is totally dependent on whether they're liked or not. Because see, as a politician, your whole campaign should not be about whether you like me. I mean, you got to get people to like you, to listen to you, I guess. But your politics is what should get you elected, not whether people whether people like you or not. We have that around here a lot. They do a lot of the identity politics in Washtenaw County. They're trying to do that with the whole sheriff's race. They're trying to do that. You've got a black male, you've got a white female, and you've got a white male who are in the race. So automatically the white male, they're trying to discount him because who wants another white sheriff? Well, you know what? At one time, that's all there was. So let's just really kick the ballistics here on this. As far as a white woman, the only thing that I see as a positive for that would be, okay, we might have somebody to be able to come in with a little bit of police experience. And she comes from, the field of social work. But the fact that she doesn't have enough of either, she's negated. And then you have the black male who they're really trying to do the identity thing with. Because right now it's still a very, very good thing to be a black politician getting in the game. It's been since Barry was in. Barry opened the floodgates for black politicians, especially males. And one thing that black people don't want to do is fuck up a good thing, even though they let Barry fuck up a good thing. Politics is a popularity contest in today's era. Absolutely. Yeah, Uncle Jerome was he played his role. Now, is he a freedman? I thought he was from somewhere too. Is he an American freedman? I thought he was from somewhere. I can't remember because I don't believe I've ever heard him actually talk outside of a role. But I thought he might have been from somewhere else too. But because he was kind of second fiddle in the script, nobody ever really made a big deal. But everybody knew Franklin was from where Idris Elba was from. They just got a black actor tree over there, I guess. So I'm looking at these individuals real sideways now. Wendell and Mary. Mike and Jocelyn, you get a pass because this ain't your problem. Michael, Eric, you're part of the problem. You part of the problem, absolutely. And why is Wendell Anthony dressed like he works at a parking garage? Everybody else, got some clothes on, and Wendell looks like he's lifting the gate up by hand. Oh, okay. He's from New York. Okay. Now that's where he's from. Where is people from? Because, he could say he's from New York. Stephen A. Smith say he's from New York, but Stephen A. Smith ain't from New York. Oh, okay. Okay. So his people really, really from New York. Okay. Okay. I'll rock with that. I thought he was from another country. Okay. So this is a good meme I saw today. As a POC, don't you? I'm black. Don't you identify as nope, blackity, black. Period. You better not call me POC. Don't call me POC, and I'm gonna allow you to call me black. But if you're trying to identify me, I only identify as an American freedman. I'll allow you to call me black. A black American, an American black. But you're not going to call me African American. I know I got to still fill that out on some shit. But if they give me a other, I put American freedman. Make them ask the question, exactly what is an American freedman? Oh, it's the same thing as the box on top. I just don't identify as that. If they let a man identify as a woman, then you let me identify as an American freedman. Okay. Now, if you want to put an asterisk next to American freedman and say, see, African American, handle your business. Handle your business. I ain't got no problem with that. But I'm not checking an African American box again. We don't vote the straight ticket over here no more. You hear about 700 immigrants on a ship in Greek waters that's what? They were coming from Greece? 700. Damn. Too many people sinking in the water now, man. Too many people sinking in the water, man. Too many people, man. Too many people sinking in the water. There are more people sinking in the water. You think that's Lake Lanier. You think everybody down in Lake Lanier, they just dropping off. They got overshadowed by the submarine story. Okay. They let the death of 5 people overshadow the death of 700 people. They let the death of 5 billionaires overshadow the death of 700 folks. Wrote a song about it, like to hear it go. So, we're going to move on to something that, quite frankly, it entertained me. It takes a lot to entertain me. Now, outside of my grandkids, who I think are just 2 funny individuals, actually, all 3 of them are really funny. but Bryson don't really talk yet. He just makes sounds, says words. But he is 14 months, and he does identify letters and numbers. Don't make me put the TikTok up. I'll put the TikTok up in this video. My 1-year-old grandson is identifying letters and numbers now. So just to let you know, I got a genius on the horizon, another one, and another one. His mama and daddy's smart as all get out, so I expect it. And we already know who his granddaddy is, so it's all good. But yeah, we're gonna go from something to just this entertained me, y'all. This entertained me. 2023 Kentucky Traditional Negro Spiritual Voice Competition winners. This is real. This is real. These are the 2023 Traditional Negro Spiritual Voice Competitions winners. Yes. Yes, indeedy. You hear me? We ain't got to worry about it. DEI has taken over. The 2023 Kentucky Traditional Negro Spiritual Voice Competitions winners. Yes. What you thought? What you thought? You thought it was just in my mind?
In my mind.
Oh, no. What you got here? You got 4 Caucasian individuals. You got 4 Caucasian individuals who have been crowned. They weren't in the competition. They won. Crowned. You understand me? They won the competition, y'all. They literally won the competition. Come on now. I mean, it's bad enough if they allowed them to compete in it. But that top left, that's a bass baritone. His name is Max Taylor. That top right, that's Ella Clark. She is a mezzo-soprano. That bottom left, that's Kalia Burdett. She's a soprano. And just in case you didn't understand who's bringing up the bottom, that bass, that one who sings like Melvin Franklin from The Temptations, that's Ethan Blythe. Oh, yes. 2023 Kentucky Traditional Negro Spiritual Voice Competitions winners. All I'm saying, if you're going to make some noise, make some noise. I do not, and I've been looking for one. I do not. I have been looking for a video of them singing. You know, I got a little busy. Natty's open house was this past weekend, so I got a little busy. We was in the field. But here, if I find a video of Max, Ella, Kalia, and Ethan singing, y'all already know I'm gonna do an immediate live. Because that is the 2023 Kentucky. Kentucky threw me off when I heard it. I was like, this has got to be a joke. And then I went to digging to see if it was real. Because I put the graphics on this picture. This ain't the actual picture. The actual picture came from a post of somebody else. Man, I looked at this and I was like, come on now. I looked at it, I was like, what? Come on now.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. How could we be here in 2023. But this is just like when the best reggae album, was it at the Grammys or the American Music Awards? It was a white group that won. The best Jamaican album, like 4 white guys walked out on the stage. I thought it was the Beatles. I was like, did they say reggae? And 4 white guys walked out on the stage. That's who won the album. I wish it was too, sis.
In my mind.
I don't really want to be bringing y'all stuff like this. It's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. I can't blame these folks here. I can't blame these folks. All they did was wanted to get up there and sing their traditional Negro hearts out. They sang their traditional Negro hearts out. They sang their traditional Negro hearts out. I mean, you do understand, I'm looking for a Negro or 2. Just 2. You know, I know they said we only 14% of the population, but I've been called bullshit on that. But how come we couldn't just get 1 person in the group? I'm thinking we should be able to get 2. We should be able to get a boy and a girl in the group. And if y'all gonna put 2 white people in there, it's Kentucky, I get it. But 4 traditional Negro spiritual voice competition winners are all white. I mean, what do we expect? It is Kentucky. They just indicated the student from UK. For what? Wow. So is this the other? This isn't the little white girl. Oh no, because she wasn't no desk clerk, I don't think. She was like a RA. And little drunk white girl kept pushing her and calling her nigger. Look up Sophia Rosie. Sophia Rosie. Oh boy. Hold on 1 second. Oh, yeah. Sure is. Let's go on and let's go on and look at this. Hold on a second. Let's go ahead and look at this. I want to say 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago. And then we go to Cincinnati, which is right across the water. There's already a Kentucky vibe there. But actually, I ain't never had no problems in Cincinnati. I ain't never had no problems in Kentucky, actually. No, I haven't had any problems in Kentucky. Stayed in a nice little city just south of Cincinnati. Stayed there. And here, let me get this. I want to get this up about this Sophia Rosie. Because this is Kentucky too. And where I found that to be quite entertaining, I don't find this entertaining at all. But this is dangerous. No, I don't want y'all sending me no notifications. I'm just going to read this story and I'm going to jump off your shit. Hold on a second. Yeah, I've never had any problems in Kentucky. So it says University of Kentucky Karen pleads not guilty to racist attack on black student despite video evidence. So they got video evidence of her being, you know, and when they say, you know, she's being racist, I mean, I just mean she was calling a nigger. So, this her right here. I actually might watch this show. That shows about Lake Lanier. A former student at the University of Kentucky who was shown on video leading a racist, violent attack on a campus against a black student pleaded not guilty in the anti-black assault, despite a wealth of video and circumstantial evidence supporting the charges. It was a master class in white privilege on Friday morning as Sophia Rosing tried to pretend before a Kentucky court that she didn't commit the acts she is shown doing on the footage that suggests race at least partially motivated her violence. In case you missed it, Rosing back in November was confronted by Spring, a freshman, for not producing the required identification to enter a dormitory where Spring was working an overnight shift. Okay, so yeah, I remember this. Rosie responded with kind of a spate anti-black racist slur and violent attack that was fended off by Spring. Yeah. Police responded and Rosie, but not before she bit and kicked the University of Kentucky police. Did they retaliate? Initially attempting to cause him harm. Rosie was seen accompanied by her parents after being released on a $10,000 bond the next day. They came and got their baby. They put up 10 bands in a quickness. Last month, Rosie was criminally indicted by a grand jury for third degree, all third degree. That's probation. She won't do no jail time. It's third degree. Of a police officer, 2 counts of fourth degree, no prison time there, and second degree disorderly conduct. Second degree disorderly conduct is yelling loud in public. That's nothing. And alcohol intoxication. She wasn't driving a car, so they're not going to do anything. It was in that context that local news outlet Lex 18 reported that Rosie showed very little emotion in court on Friday. The scene described in court was a very on brand for Rosie. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. They got the video. Hold on one second.
I hope. Could you stop, please? No. Could you stop? No. The thing hurt me. Oh, Jesus. I did not get paid enough for this. Exactly. And you're a nigger. Thank you. You're a nigger and you're a bitch. You're a nigger and you're a bitch. Yeah. I hope. Could you stop, please? No.
Wow.
You're a bitch. Could you try to get me to get her to like a chair or something? No, I'm drunk. You're drunk. You're a nigger and you're a bitch. Stop, please. No.
That is crazy. So, what up, y'all? When you see situations like that, and all the sister did was held her arms. That's all she did was held her arms as she was repeatedly called a nigger. Is Papa John's headquarters in Kentucky or Tennessee? I thought it was in Tennessee. Maybe it's in Kentucky. I don't know. He calls us niggas too. He likes to call black folks niggas. He does. That's why I don't use the word for any color. Joe Biden, I call Joe Biden a nigga all the time. I ain't got to worry about him remembering because Joe Biden ain't gonna remember shit. He is in first or second stage dementia. I guarantee it. They was looking for Trump's competency reports. I want to see Joe Biden's competency reports, his cognitive report. I want to see all that shit. I bet you Joe Biden ain't passing no physicals right now, y'all. He ain't passing no physicals. I'm trying to tell you. Not no more. Joe Biden is not physically fit. He is not physically fit. And it's really on a cognitive level. He can do that little shuffle along if he wants to and shit when he's on camera. Okay, go ahead and fall again, Joe. Go ahead and fall again, dog. Oh, and I decided to just leave the Juneteenth flag up here, you know. Ain't no point of it coming down. Ain't no point of it coming down. That's the way I saw. That's the way I saw. Ain't no point of it coming down. Yeah, I got to do my duty. I got to do my duty as an American freedman.
Negroes, do your duty.
And I want you Negroes to do your duty too. So when I saw it this morning, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't like Joe. I don't like Joe. And it probably wouldn't bother me too much if he did get impeached in any other case. But if Joe gets impeached, that means Kamala's the boss? Come on, man. That's just misguided. That's just misguided. First and foremost, we're shut off from everything if Kamala gets into the White House. She is not respected by any world leader. She's not respected by a gang leader. She ain't respected by church leaders. Except them boule bourgeoisie niggas. Black folks love having Kamala come to their church. They filled them pews up that day. You ever notice black preachers, they bring Kamala in because a lot of people want to see her. They want to be up close to the VP. And they know if they come in, they preach a little sermon and they're going to get some extra offerings. Tithes is going to be up that day. Tithes is going to be up that day. I'm telling you, man, she has no credibility collectively in our community. Collectively. And if Joe gets impeached, she's in charge. Oh, dude, we're done. You got to understand. If Kamala becomes president, Putin's not going to talk to Kamala. What's the crazy Korean motherfucker? He ain't going to talk to Kamala. The Chinese dude, he ain't going to talk to Kamala. Only person going to talk to Kamala is the guy, the leader in Mexico. He's the only one that's going to talk to Kamala. He's going to speak Spanish the whole time, so it ain't going to matter. It ain't even going to matter. When Kamala gets into the G7 summit, is that what it's called? The G7 summit? It is what it is. Kim Dynasty. So when Kamala goes to the G7 summit, you know, gang leader sent me. Can you dig it? When she goes to the G7 summit, man, I'm trying to tell you. They'll be like, and from the United States, President Kamala Harris. Oh, maybe you didn't hear me. And from the United States, President Kamala Harris. That's exactly what it's going to be like when she sits in front of all the world leaders. And she is president. if something happened to Joe, because she's not going to get elected president. She's only going to get to the White House as the president if something happens to Joe. And if she gets to the White House and something happens to Joe, every nation, every country, every whatever is going to come take a piece out of America's ass. We will lose our allegiance with so many people if she becomes president because she's fucking incompetent. She's intelligent, but she's incompetent. I know a lot of intelligent, incompetent motherfuckers, and they're nowhere near the White House. It is what it is. So I want to move this along because I've got some things I want to say about town. My town. I'm going to be doing another redlining Washtenaw stream. I'm probably going to try to do that. I'm probably going to try to do that tomorrow. But the first one was the opening. And I thought I did pretty good with the opening because I didn't, put anything other than what I wanted it to be, a very organic discussion. Most of y'all didn't watch that stream. I do know I got very low views on Facebook and hardly any views on YouTube. I get it. It's not as exciting of a topic as Amani Bates, but I'm breaking a situation down that people just don't want talked about. And I'm going to be talking about it in more ways than one. Because redlining is more ways than one. It's how the West was won, and East, and South, and North. Black Americans, American blacks, American freedmen. We have been redlined around this country. And to this day, we are still redlined. We've had things happen to us that's never happened to anybody else on this soil. And as history has moved along, we've encountered things that other people will never have to incur. Just recently, Ann Arbor police put in place a ban on traffic stops for tinted windows, broken tail lights, expired registrations, and loud exhaust pipes. You hear me? Tinted windows, broken tail lights, expired registrations, and loud tailpipes. They are saying that we no longer need for the police to engage with black folks because of tinted windows, broken tail lights, expired registrations, and loud exhaust tailpipes. They've come to the conclusion it is good policing to bypass these infractions, negating police contact with drivers in the city of Ann Arbor. In the city of Ann Arbor. Now, you go to Ypsi, they might stop your ass. You go to Saline, they damn sure might stop you. Chelsea, Northfield Township, Ypsi Township. County may stop you out there. All your shit can be working and they stop you out in Ypsi Township. you know, they've got to show that they're earning their money that they get from the township that they don't really deserve, but it is what it is. Like, hey, we got to stop 37 niggas today to keep the quota up. Don't come back in here under 37. I'm not saying who said that. Just know that I said that. If we gonna cook, we gonna cook.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Yeah, I know they want to see a dead body. But this situation being put in place tells me two things. I know some people are thinking certain things. I'm thinking other things. And generally, when I think other things, I can prove what I think. The other shit that they be talking, there's no fucking basis to what they say. Y'all listening to these coons babble out here. Y'all listen to these coons babble. Let me explain something to you. The interim police chief in the city of Ann Arbor and the people on the city council, if they got together now to talk about this type of stuff, they've gotten together before when it was far less Spanish-speaking folks, far less Asians, far less Arabs, Palestinians, Armenians, Albanians, people with melanin in their skin. Because you don't know one from another. Because you know all you niggas look alike. But I'm thinking if they have this put in place now, how come it couldn't have been put in place before? Now, the intellectual scholar is going to say, it just took progress. It just took progress. It took progressive thinking. So nobody ever thought that it was progressive thinking to not stop somebody because they have tinted windows? Because I'm not saying that some Europeans didn't get this changed either. I know I've sat in many predominantly white areas when I was driving a car as a profession. As a profession, I was a driver, and I would see countless mirrored tinted window packages on cars, from Mercedes-Benz to Range Rovers to what's that other car? Range Rovers, Mercedes-Benz, the big thing. Oh, the Bentley. I mean, those people that have that type of money and they get the mirrored tint, they don't care nothing about no tickets. They figure you're going to get tired of giving them before they'll get tired and have their windows changed. They weren't getting stopped for tinted windows. I've never seen a wealthy Caucasian individual get stopped because of tinted windows. However, I've seen plenty of black folks get pulled over for tinted windows. They break out their little measuring stick of how dark the window can be and da-da-dee, da-da-da. Oh, let me get that driver's license, insurance, and registration while you're at it. And they know you've got a hit already, and that's why they stopped you. They're just going to use the tinted window excuse as an excuse. Look at their complaint log and see how many cases got dropped because of its legal tint law. Yeah. Yeah. See, if somebody's registration is expired, what does that have to do with them being a sensible driver? Their vehicle isn't registered, but if they've got an active driver's license, do you stop somebody for bad tags? Because they have bad tags? What's the reasoning behind that? if somebody has a loud exhaust pipe, and I'm thinking, as long as it doesn't shoot out sparks and flames and shit, cars come and go all day. So what about these motorcycles that go by at deafening audible levels? Are they not going to stop them anymore? Because those are louder than the cars. Those exhaust pipes on these motorcycles are louder than the cars. I just want to know. It can't just be in my mind.
In my mind.
I believe that these laws are being put in place, or this ban is being put in place, because there's so many POC in Ann Arbor now. You got a lot of POC in Ann Arbor. Yeah. Because if it was really just about change, they'd have changed just a long time ago. Way before we were inundated with POC. When it was just blackety blacky. Because see, when it was just blackety blacky, did nothing get changed? But when you throw POC in the mix, that's where you can get some things done. POC. It's going to kill us. And I don't think that many people care. And that's why we have the good guys and the bad guys. Anybody that just tells you at this point to vote blue no matter who is a bad guy. Does not matter. You cannot vote for a Republican. Does not matter. You vote blue no matter who. Like, how much traction do you really think that Cornel West is going to gain with the vote blue no matter who jigaboo crew? How much do you think Cornel West has a chance with the vote blue no matter who's? I don't think so. Personally, I don't believe Cornel has a chance. Personally. He may, but I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be able to get traction with Bernie's crowd. And I don't think he's going to be able to get traction with the quintessential Democrat crowd. It just doesn't seem possible. Not to me. It just doesn't seem possible. And when we have situations like we've had recently with politicians basically flipping the switch because they see what it really is out here. Eric Adams, he said he was the black Joe Biden. He was the black Biden, y'all. And then when they start dropping them migrant bodies on him, he's like, what the hell is this? First, he wanted to come and say, I am the black Joe Biden. He was talking really like Billy Porter, but I am the black Joe Biden. Joe Biden. I'm the black Biden. And when about 5,000 immigrants showed up in one day looking for the bathroom, Eric was like, what the hell is this? He got black real quick. He saw life for what it really was. Joe and Joe was like, look, just take these bodies, put them up in some hotels, we'll send you some money. And Eric was like,
Did you say nigga?
Eric was like this.
Did you say nigga?
When he should have been like this.
Huh?
If Joe Biden would have told me to take all them people in and put them up in hotels and they'll get some federal funds, I would have been straight Dick Gregory. I'm going straight Dick Gregory. Huh? I mean, they got people living in 3, 4, 5-star hotels. They got people living amongst furniture, more furniture than they had before they came over here. They putting them up in 3, 4, 5-star hotels, feeding them, clothing them, setting their kids up to go to school, and then making sure that they're going to end up getting gigs so they can get out on their own, so they can do the same all over for the next wave. Why doesn't anybody see this? Why doesn't anybody care? I just don't understand how you don't care. You're squeezing people out of their own country, all while people briskly come over here really without any type of guarantee that they're not going to be treacherous amongst the American collective. And we've had plenty of people that have come here from other countries and committed aggravated crimes. How you gonna run from a land, come somewhere else, and your ass just get to committing crimes? Now you gotta go back. I just don't see how any of this can work out in the end. Dealing with gatekeepers, dealing with grifters, dealing with turncoats, dealing with predators, it's dangerous. And it's like a moving guillotine that you or gauntlet that you've got to run through. And everything's like razor edged, and you've got to run through that and try not to get cut. Dealing with gatekeepers and grifters and turncoats and predators. And you get into that political sphere, and those people become your colleagues. Gatekeeping politicians are our nemesis. They are our nemesis. And I don't believe people understand that. They are going to hurt us from the inside out. Gatekeeping politicians, because they know what we need. They know what our desires are, and they keep those resources from us. They don't endorse those resources as elected officials. They go another direction. Oh, you want this type of situation, and then we build a skilled trades program and bam, bam, bam. gatekeepers. We're here to stop recidivism. We want to stop people from committing crimes over again. How about we just fucking deal with them before they get to committing crimes? It's a whole lot simpler to stop somebody from committing a crime than to stop somebody from committing another crime. We're in such need for true people that get elected in office, especially locally. I'm not speaking about no national politics. It don't even matter to me. We ain't got the stuff on the local end. The national end doesn't even matter. If we don't have politicians advocating for Black Americans, we don't really have any politicians. I mean, none. If we don't have Black politicians advocating for Black Americans, how do we just off rip say, oh, these white politicians advocate for us? No, you know what the white politicians do? The white politicians look at the Black politicians that don't advocate for us, and they become friends with them. And then they'll sit around and they'll have discussions. So why don't you go harder for the Black folks? And wouldn't you like to be around to hear those discussions? It's just a matter of time before you really start to see a turn in this political sphere. And we're either going to start to be erased from many political platforms and replaced with POC, because the guilt will still run high. But there's going to be people that are going to be erased, and they'll be POC. I can't necessarily say that they're going to be American freedmen. I'm looking at so many different things on this local end that when I heard about this, I guess there was a Black city councilwoman who played an integral part in getting this established. And that's a good thing. Cynthia Harrison, I believe is her name. That's a good thing. A local politician advocating for Black people. That was a good thing. I was thankful to hear about that, because you don't hear about that much. You don't hear about Black politicians advocating for Black issues, especially in territories like this. Especially in territories, not a lot of Black Americans, American Blacks, American freedmen in Ann Arbor. Not a lot. Never been a lot. Never been a lot. We've always hovered around that 10,000 mark. But when she got this passed with the Ann Arbor Police interim police chief, I figured that it was going to be a good look if they're able to carry it out efficiently. But it was really going to be good for the surrounding areas to make a look at this, because I absolutely know, Pittsfield Township, they love stopping people for tinted windows. Pittsfield Township will stop you for a tint in a heartbeat. But if things like this can turn around from a law enforcement to citizen basis, there's hope on these levels. But I believe this thing needs to be a county-wide thing. One of the reasons why I've supported Kim McGee, because we talked about this the last election. Minor traffic offenses. Now I'm hoping to talk to him soon. He's got to get some things cleared with his campaign manager. But I want to be able to ask him about this and other things that he will do. And I'm going to say when. I don't like to use the word if I'm supporting someone politically. I want to say when, because I'm anticipating a win. If you just want to run, then you just run. But if you want to win, vote for Ken. I just made that goofy shit up. But anyway, this could be a good thing. This could be a good thing because there is a situation coming up in 4 days where you're not going to be able to use your phone. You got to go straight up hands-free on your phone. Hands-free. But if you've got tinted windows, and maybe your windows are like not too dark, but dark enough to where at an angle, police gets behind you. Will it go under this? If they see that you're using your phone, because they're going to say that they saw you with your phone in your hand. And what if that particular officer really isn't up on this whole tinted windows thing? Can this be trumped into something that if, let's just say the windows are darker than what they are supposed to be legally? Could it be an offense at that point? And I've read some of the language in it. I see that they're not going to primarily stop people for these things, but can you still get fines for having defective equipment, expired registration? They may not stop you for it, but in the commission of a stop, can you still be ticketed for these infractions? That's something that I want to know. Something that I'm not quite clear on. And I want to be clear on it. So I'm going to ask those questions as well on some things, and hopefully being able to talk to candidate McGee or some other things that I know that he is passionate about. I want to talk about those things and really his history. I know the history of Derek Jackson, and I know the history of Alicia Dyer. And that's why I support Ken McGee. This ain't got nothing to do with him being a friend. And if anybody else says, hey, you just support him because he's your friend, well, ain't that what y'all did with Jerry? He was your man. Your main man. And you gave him one more chance to finish what he started. And in his first 12 years, he didn't do shit. And he's proven it once again. He ain't gonna do shit. The only thing that he has been able to hang his hat on is that black folks don't get jacked up by WCSO the way they once did. For that, that's a good thing. I want everybody to be healthy. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be cognizant of the bullshit. Because it's out here. The bullshit is out here. It really is. It's right in front of us. It really is. But we've got to stay on it. We are in the midst of good guys and bad guys. I never looked at myself as a good guy. And the main time that I get called a good guy, it doesn't have anything to do with politics, any political situation. When people generally describe me, this ain't the way I describe myself. This is the way people describe me. When people have described me as a good guy, it's generally from like a parental standpoint. And for that, I appreciate that. From a parental standpoint. I appreciate that I can be looked at as a good guy. I definitely don't, I'm not a bad guy from a parental standpoint. There's plenty of bad parents out there. But I think the angle that most people say that I'm a good guy, it's because they've seen my history with my kids and my grandkids. And they put those things together and they come up with the answer. Oh, okay, Shannon's a good guy. He's a good guy. Does this and that with his kids and his grandkids. He's a good guy. I've gotten that. I've gotten that many a times. And it was attributed to family. Bad guys generally can get the same tag. They can get it for being bad with their families. And that can come from many angles. They may be predatory, abusive, neglecting of their family. So there's many ways they could be looked at as a bad guy. We've had bad people in our family. Bad guys. When I say bad guys, I'm speaking of all mankind. This does not have to do with just males. Because you can be part of the good guys and be part of the bad guys. I see what I see when I'm out here. And people that don't deal with their kids or have never dealt with their kids, it's difficult for me to see that person dealing with someone else's kids. And then you have what is that? I think I got to cut this short. That's weird. My computer's going to reset. So I didn't hit a button, and there's no way for me to stop it. There's no X. It's resetting in 43 seconds. Are we just going to ride this out? Yeah, that's weird. So probably right around just under 2:11, I am literally going to be off the air. How did I miss a reset? Okay. I got to do something with this because it's giving me no opportunity to stay up. Like literally. I am literally the computer is going to reset. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,